All right. Welcome, everyone. I know we just opened up this stream, so we might have a couple folks rolling in here. We'll probably give it just a few minutes here for everybody to jump in. See, we've already got a few of you. GM, everybody. All right, actually looks like we've already got quite a few folks here. Thanks for joining yet another monthly town hall. We're a little bit late this time, jumping into October. Usually we try to end them before the month ends, or run these before the month ends. But with Token 2049, KBW, and a handful of other events going on, we're lagging just a little bit behind. Maybe we'll just give it one more minute here for folks to roll in, and then we'll get started. And for everybody here who's on our call, let me just pull you guys up onto the screen. There we go. So we'll do a round of intros, and feel free to chime in if you guys want to just chat here at the beginning while we get started. I'm going to send the link to the chat on X as well. So Tim, Justin, and YZ, I just shared that with you in the chat. Feel free to join us. Oh, that is the wrong one. That's so strange. Why is it sending us to this link? Sorry, guys. I'll get us the the chat link here in just one sec.
All good. All good.
It wouldn't be like an X broadcast or Twitter space without some bugs.
I know. I think the last space we tried to host, we got rugged by X and Elon.
Yeah, specifically. I love how it's always specific. Yeah. He's just out for our specific spaces.
Elon's out for us.
All right. How about that one, guys? Does that link to the chat work that I just sent here?
Yep, works for me.
Same here.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, cool. So if you're just now joining, we haven't gotten started just yet. I think we'll start to roll into it now, but please do feel free to jump into the chat. I'll monitor that to the best of my ability. We'll also have our speakers here from Skate and Mantle in the chat there as well. So do jump in there with questions throughout. And without further ado, we will get started. Just 1 second. All right, let's roll into it. All right, once again, thanks for joining Town Hall. We host these once a month, and likely we'll move them to a quarterly basis after this. We're going to reevaluate after this session here. Basically, what we do here is we just do updates on what happened in the previous month, and then we also take a look ahead at what's coming up in the next month, kind of celebrate some wins, hopefully give you guys some alpha here and connect with one of the teams building within the Mantle ecosystem. So we've got Skate here today. So we'll start off with some community updates. We'll jump into some product updates specifically around mETH protocol or mETH protocol, whichever you prefer. And then we'll talk about the Mantle reward station with Skate and dive into what Skate is building here with Tim and Justin. We do typically have some dev updates. So if you join for those today, we will be skipping those this time. But if you have any questions about what's coming up on developer roadmap, or you want to get your questions answered about upcoming events or building on Mantle, you can always join us in our developer community channels. And please do, again, feel free to ask questions there in the chat if you have questions about that topic too. Just before we get started, actually, I'm going to go back here, just get this out of the way. As always, do your own research. Nothing here is investment advice, financial advice, or any sort of guarantee or warranty by anybody on this call to use any application. always do your own research, whether it's a third-party app or something Mantle is building. You guys know the drill, DYOR. And as always, we've got a NFT, which you can claim for Townhall. This is going to be on Questin. Let me jump in the chat here, actually, myself, so I can make sure that you guys get all the links so you can claim these NFTs. We usually have like a fun Y2K branded NFT, but we didn't have time to pull in this week. So if somebody wants to create one in the community, I see some folks here, JC, Stag NFT. I don't know if you guys want to build one of those NFTs based on our previous theme. But yeah, do go and claim that. The link is right there. And we will just jump into some intros here. So John from our DevRel engineering team is not here today, but why don't we start over with Justin and Tim at Skate? Maybe Justin, you can start first. If you want to just tell us a little bit about your background and what you do at Skate.
Hey guys. Yeah, so I'm Justin, and I'm a blockchain developer here at Skate, and yeah, basically part of the core team and bringing stateless apps to you guys.
Love it. Thank you so much, Justin. And Tim, how about you?
Yeah, hey guys. Thanks for inviting us to today's town hall. I'm Tim. I'm the head of marketing at Skate, so I handle all things marketing and community related. Yeah, excited to share a little bit more about what we're building at Skate with the Mantle community, and also to recap some of the campaigns we've been running with Mantle.
Love it. Thank you, Tim. And also Mario is not on the speaker roster today, but he might be in the chat. So if you have questions for Mario, who's also one of our product managers, you can ask him there. YZ, I'm going to hand it over to you. Can you just give a brief intro on yourself, what you do at Mantle?
Great. Thanks, Brian. Hi, everyone. So YZ here. I lead product at Mantle, looking at all the ecosystem products that we have. So Reward Station, mETH protocol. You may have seen me a couple of times on other live streams and spaces. So yeah, definitely here to share a bit more about product updates, especially on mETH protocol today. I think that's going to be the emphasis here.
Awesome. Thanks, YZ. And also, Mantle just had a big offsite with our team in Bali. Did you make it to that, YZ?
Yeah, I was there. Super cool to meet everyone.
Yeah, it looked like good times. It was amazing to see the whole Mantle team in one place. Maybe some photos will leak to Twitter at some point. I haven't seen anybody posting about it yet.
I'm pretty sure there will be some leaks in there.
Yeah. All right, thanks everyone. And just a quick intro on myself. Feel free to ask me in Discord or elsewhere if you want to hear more about my background. Or actually, there was a recent podcast from one of our community members where I kind of talked a little bit about my origin story as well. So if you want to dive into that, feel free to ping me there in the chat. But I'm El Brian. I lead community here at Mantle. And you can always find me in the channels. Feel free to ping me anytime. Just want to jump into some community updates here first. So we've welcomed some new community stewards. If you've been in our community for one day, if you've asked any question in our channels, you've most likely received an answer from one of our community stewards. So stewards are collaborators, connectors within our community channels, and also creators in their own right, and community builders in their own right as well. So we're welcoming Potato Juice and Slim on Shark, who you might have seen even here on Twitter, asking questions on our Twitter spaces and such. So just quick intro on Juice. He's full-time in Web3 and a self-proclaimed Mantle Maxi. He's also a content creator and podcaster. He just recently started the DeFi Unlocked series for Mantle. So I think he's already covered Merchant Mo and Aurelius. You can find the latest on his Twitter at potatojuice__. And he's also a cat dad. So if you want to see cat pics, you can jump into our Discord and find those. And then we've got Slim on Shark. So these two are actually a dynamic duo. They if you're familiar with the Man Duck meme, or you're familiar with the Man Duck races that we had last month, you can credit that to these two, Slim and Potato, who started that. So Slim is obsessed with community building. I can attest to that. Really always jumping in and suggesting new ideas about how we can get people to connect. So obviously loves to connect people, and he's a talker and a writer, self-described, and again can attest to that. You can always chat with Slim just about anything. They also work together on a project called Mantleverse Unleashed. So just diving into the ecosystem, providing updates. It's a great way to just kind of check in on what's happening and get to know the community. So welcome Slim and welcome Juice. Really quickly, Mantle Missions is kind of your home base if you're looking for where to get started in the Mantle ecosystem, especially if you're new as a user. This is a great place to explore the ecosystem. You can always find new campaigns to get involved in. So if you're wondering what's going on in Mantle, this is a great place to start. A few other updates on the community side. So we just recently ran a community bounty. So the bounty topic was Mantle is more than an L2. We received a lot of great submissions, videos, Twitter threads, blogs, yeah, a whole range of different submissions. That actually ended last week. The winners will be announced tomorrow, October 4th. So we've been going through, we had, I think, over 160 submissions for this, just highlighting a few here at the bottom. Not necessarily our winners, just wanted to give a shout out to some folks who wrote some quality content here. So do look forward to the announcement of those winners for that bounty, sharing that 8K mETH prize pool. And if you are in our Russian, Ukrainian, or Korean communities, you can head over to those channels and still contribute to this bounty because those were extended a little bit further. And for anybody who is submitting quality content to this bounty, you'll also be added to the creator role, which will give you some access to some opportunities in the future to continue finding new content bounties and connecting with other creators on Discord and potentially Telegram in the future. If you have questions about that, do once again feel free to join us in Discord. And also just want to shout out, we've got a new mETH badge. You can find these on the Quest page on the Metamorphosis website. Basically doing simple social tasks and on-chain tasks to earn badges and potential future rewards. So the latest one is the mETH Guru badge. Write a piece of content about mETH or review them. We don't accept copy and paste or really low effort submissions. We do go in and we review these to make sure that you're writing with authenticity and not just copy pasting something from AI, for example. But there's other easier ones if you want some lower barrier to entry. You can just simply add an emoji, for example, to your name and earn the emoji enthusiast badge. So there's kind of something there for everybody. That is ending on October 9th. And in the broader Mantle ecosystem, we've got FBTC Sparkle campaign, which is ongoing. We also recently hit a 250 million TVL milestone, and we've got some upcoming integrations, including with the Bitcoin L2 Bob, if you guys are familiar. So do look out for that. And just want to give a shout out because I know a lot of folks who are listening here, and a lot of our team was at KBW and Token 2049, and everybody's feeling, and also the skate team who's here, we're there as well. So I know everybody's probably recovering from their weeks of travel and their weeks of conference mode. So hope you guys have all recovered. But yeah, Mantle is not slowing down in terms of going global, like going to events, running Hacker House series with Sozu House. And this includes events with FBTC, Mantle, and all of our partners. Also just want to shout out that we have a community-led events program coming soon. So if you're interested in growing a Mantle community in your region or growing as a community leader, we're going to have an opportunity for you to potentially get some resources to run events in your local region. So if you've been wondering, why can't I run something and get some resources to back up my community that I've already built here in my region? That's all going to be solved soon. If you're interested in that, you can DM me directly, and I'd be happy to chat with you about that. We've got some upcoming events. So one is Blockchain Life Dubai. We're also going to a few events coming up in Bangkok, including DevCon, DuneCon, and ETH Global, and then the Upbit conference in Seoul. All right, I'm going to hand it over to you, YZ, to run us through the mETH updates. And whenever you need me to switch slides, just let me know.
Amazing. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, so I thought I would focus a bit of today's town hall on the product update side, particularly on mETH protocol as a whole, because since the last town hall, we talked about the renaming from Mantle LSP to mETH protocol, and that is just not just a renaming exercise alone. I think it was also more about expanding that brand, expanding the scope of what it means to be within the mETH protocol. As you can see, in the recent times, we have had so many activities going on with Metamorphosis, with the upcoming cMETH, CookMETH, whatever you want to call it, and also with affiliated activities on Reward Station and also on our DApp ecosystem with our partners. So there's really a lot of things to cover today. So let me just dive right in. Next slide, please. So I think the one thing that is the most watched this week is the Eigen claim. So Eigen, for everyone's understanding, Eigen turned on transferability for the token on the 30th of September. So I think we were one of the first few protocols to enable claiming of Eigen for our campaigns. So I think that was really cool. Along the way, I think we were together with the team, really worked very hard to push this out as soon as possible so that everyone can start claiming this Eigen tokens that you have so well-deserved tokens that you have earned across the 2 seasons, starting from February of 2024 all the way until September 25th. Next slide, please. So there are a few components to claiming your Eigen on meth.mantle.xyz or mETH protocol. So season 1 claim and season 2 claim is live right now, as I shared earlier. And so for all of you who have not claimed your Eigen tokens, please go to the dashboard and then connect your wallet and you will be able to claim, right? We have actually quite a number of claims already. So I think everything is going extremely well there. There is one thing that will be also coming soon for those holders of Pendo USDE in the 25th July pool, right? So those users who held YT USDE or LP USDE during the 25th July Pendo pool on the Mantle network will also be awarded Eigen tokens. Previously, the calculation was about 0.0012 Eigen layer points for every YT token that you held for every day. So that would translate to some amount of Eigen tokens, of course. And we are now just working through all the details right there, and we'll be presenting this to you soon, similar to season 1 and 2, that this claim will be live soon for you. Next. And I guess here also a PSA for all the safe an issue with this, are able to claim, farm your rewards on L2 and then claim the Eigen tokens on L1. But for Safe Modistic, for example, you may not have access to your L1 address, and this feature is exactly for you. So what you can do is simply log on to, again, mETH protocol's dashboard, and you will be able to authorize your EOA address to claim on behalf of your Mantle L2 address. So you will see the pop-up on the right, the screenshot I've included here. So you will be able to just follow through this process and then, essentially we'll be able to claim seamlessly. So one thing to note here on the Eigen claim for everyone's note is that we will be opening up the claim, or rather we have opened up the claim, and the claim will last for about 6 months, ending in March next year. So it's time together with the Eigen claim time period. So just take note if you need to, or rather I would urge that you claim it as soon as you can. Next, please. Yeah, so I think one more thing that I wanted to talk about is Metamorphosis season 1 is ending in 5 days. So I think many things have happened in the past. There were so many new partners that were involved in this Metamorphosis campaign, and a lot of value that I guess everyone saw, and a lot of excitement and engagement there as well. Now we are coming to the end of this great campaign. And what this means for us is then basically rounding up some of the different things that have been happening within the ecosystem. Next. On the Mantle reward station side, I think that is one of the areas that for us got a lot of interaction, a lot of activities, and also a lot of MNT locked because of this Cook campaign. I think because on this front, it's very easy for users to understand how you can get access to Cook in this case just by locking your MNT, right? There are flexible locks, there are time period locks where you simply just place your MNT within the Mantle reward station, and your MNT essentially works for you, helps you farm the Cook over time, right? And what we are providing right now is the 4% of the total Cook supply will be given to this Cook pool on Mantle reward station. And so far, we have had about 146 million MNT locked across a total of 27.6 thousand unique wallets. So I think that's a lot. And you can see that actually a lot of, based on the chart above, you can see that there are a lot of different composition of the number of locked days. And interestingly, there are a lot of people who locked for quite a significant amount of days, 50 days, for example. The longer you lock here in this case will allow you to get more mental power, which then you can allocate to farm more rewards, in this case, Cook. So of course, 5 more days to earn. So, take this time, get into it if you want to, of course, not financial advice. But also in the future, this is kind of like the similar UX as all the other future events that we would have, right? So locking for, let's say, 300 days, 100 days, or whatever it is, will allow you to have a multiplier on the MNT that you have. So for example, if I have 1 MNT, I lock it for 300 days, I get multiplied by, let's say, 3x. So I have 3 MNT in this case, essentially a leverage, right? For me to earn more rewards. So very closely related to that, and also something we talked about the last town hall, is that we previously launched together with Pendle an MNT pool on the Mantle network. This matured on the 3rd of October. So if you hold a YT MNT or LP MNT, you can already view how much Cook you have earned on Mantle reward station. And then you'll be able to claim when the claim is live for the Cook token, right? So all of you who have entered the Pendle pool for MNT, I think that would have been quite a rewarding experience. I think there were some chatters around how the yield was pretty insane. Next, please. Yep, that's all from me. In terms of the product updates, I think a lot of focus also, just to give a glimpse in terms of what the team is working on right now. It's really a lot on mETH protocol, all hands on deck on getting all this exciting stuff for you to, especially within October. I think there's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of momentum. So keep a look out there. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, YZ. And yeah, October is going to be wild. I think there's just so much in the pipeline. So if you're not paying attention, you might miss something. So we'll see you guys in the channels. But also, if you have any questions about any of the mETH protocol updates there, about Eigenclaim, about Reward Station, Pendle, please do feel free to ask questions here in the chat. It looks like quite a few team members, including the one and only DeFi Maestro and Mario, are also there. We also have some of our community stewards here in the chat on X as well. All right, so without further ado, we're going to jump over to talking with Tim and Justin about the Mantle Reward Station campaign with Skate. So the ollies were just distributed, and I think there was some additional ollies that were added, actually a significant portion. Tim, do you want to just tell us a little bit about that distribution and when that happened, and maybe also like where these additional ollies came from? My original understanding was that it was 5 million, right?
Yeah, it was originally 5 million, but we decided to top up for the Mantle community because you guys are the best. But yeah, I mean, we took a look at the distribution, and we just saw like the sheer amount of MNT some of the, I guess, users of Mantle Reward Station had locked, and we felt like it would be fair if we topped up and gave some more to those like hardcore supporters. So that's essentially where the MNT, the extra ollies came from. But for that, I mean, yeah, we've already distributed directly to everybody's wallets. I just wanted to make a point that all these are like off-chain points. There's been like a few impersonators and scammers who have been like creating all these tokens on chain and like sending it to people. So just be very careful. Like all these are complete off-chain. They're just points right now. They will be, I guess, transferred to our future Skate token, but as of now, they're just off-chain points. Just don't want people to get scammed. And yeah, I think it was really great to see the response from the community. And it's our little way of like saying thank you, I guess, to give some more ollies to everybody.
I mean, that's massive. That's more than 50% extra
Yeah.
reward there. So just like surprise to those are going to the 500 winners, correct? Those are
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so distributed to the 500 winners. And I understand like some of those users probably, they probably don't want to connect their wallets anywhere else. So those ollies will stay like with them. They're tied to like their wallet address. So in the future, when we do like airdrop tokens, they'll just arrive directly into that address. So just stay tuned to our Twitter.
Sounds good. And for anybody who wasn't familiar, we're just going to go through the mechanic really quickly. So once again, we already learned about Mantle Power. So if you're not familiar, again, feel free to join us in the chat, ask questions. But the allocation for this reward station was a little bit different than the Cook one, which is still ongoing. So this one was a raffle based or lottery based. More Mantle Power you have, the more tickets you get. And there was 500 winners total. So do go over to the Mantle reward station to check your claim and check if you've won. Also, this was our first Mantle reward station where we had a boost for citizens of Mantle. So if you are a COM holder, you got an extra ticket, so an extra chance to win in this lottery. And just want to mention this really quickly as well. The redemption period ends on November 3rd, so you guys have 1 month exactly to go ahead and claim. And you can view your balance on Skate. There's a leaderboard here. I'm just curious, like, I don't know if you guys are willing to say, but like what portion, so there's 8 million ollies that were distributed to this campaign. How many ollies are there in total? Like what percentage of the overall supply of ollies was contributed to the reward station?
Huh. I don't know if I could say it. Let me think right now. I think it was around okay, don't quote me. It's just this is like when we were discussing the campaign with, I believe it was Alvin. I think it was around 2 to 5% or something, 3 to 5% of the total. So it actually like turns out to be a pretty significant amount, especially since we've decreased like inflation significantly for all these. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty decent amount still.
Awesome. Yeah. And
I just wanted to also note, I think, I believe users don't actually need to redeem anything. They don't need to do anything. We've already credited like them directly, like all these directly to users' wallets. So just an FYI. And if you guys don't feel comfortable like connecting your wallet to our like leaderboard, that's like fine as well. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification. So what you can do on the Mantle reward station is check the amount of tickets you have.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's the point there. It's not a redemption. So, you know, if you're on a fake rewards station site, they might ask you to redeem. So just be vigilant, check those URLs, and when in doubt, do come to either the Skate or the Mantle channels and ask to confirm a link. Happy to do that for you guys. All right, so we've got a few slides here, and then we're going to also do just a live sort of walkthrough of the app. But I want to hand it over to you, Tim, to just walk through this and let me know when to switch the slides here. Just do an intro to what Skate is and kind of what it's bringing to the space.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Brian. Actually, just wanted to quickly mention, we actually have like an ongoing Mantle mission campaign right now as well. So Skate actually runs like 2 arms of business in parallel. So we have our infra arm, which I'm about to explain. And we also have our DeFi arm, SkateFi. So right now for our DeFi arm, we're doing like, we're incentivizing one of our vaults. So if there's any like DeFi enjoyers in the chat, we're giving away 50K Mantle and 2 million ollies over a 4-week period. for our Vertex order book market making vault. So yeah, I think 2 weeks has already passed. So there's still like 2 weeks of incentives. The APYs are pretty juicy. There's like, I think last time I checked, since it's you deposit stables and it's a delta neutral strategy, and the APY I believe is 70 to 75%. So very lucrative. Just wanted to shout that out quickly. That's still ongoing. But yeah, I can just move on to like what Skate's doing, like our infra arm from like a high level. So with Skate, we're trying to bring VM agnostic composability to Web3 apps. It's quite a mouthful, and I can explain it a little bit more in detail. So essentially, we're trying to bring apps to all the different VMs, EVM, Ton VM, Solana VM, at the same time with one state. And you can imagine it as an app, let's say a game, were to deploy on Skate. They would be able to tap into the network effects, the liquidity, and the users of any of the EVM chains, Ton, Solana, whatever, all at the same time. And yeah, I mean, it's an ambitious vision, and we're getting much closer to actually bringing it to life. And I'm excited to share a little bit more about that in a bit. Can go next slide. Yeah, so this slide is just another kind of analogy that explains like what Skate is building and also the problem that we're trying to solve. So I think a pretty apt analogy to look at is the Web2 app space. So on the left, you can see Instagram and how Instagram works in Web2. So Instagram is live on obviously all these different devices, and all these different devices have different tech stacks. But Instagram has one state across all these different devices. And what do I mean by one state? So if I'm using iPhone, for example, and I'm on Instagram and I post something or I follow someone, my friend on PC on Instagram would be able to see that post. And that's because Instagram has a shared state across all these different devices. And that is not the case for Web3. Like if you think about Web3 apps right now, let's just say, for example, Uniswap. Uniswap on mainnet, Uniswap on ETH is a complete different app from Uniswap on Base. And what do I mean by that? I mean, like, you look at the tokens trading on Uniswap on Base versus Uniswap on ETH. You look at the user base, you look at the liquidity, it's all completely different. And that's a problem that we're trying to solve. That's the problem of application fragmentation. So with Skate, we're proposing that apps deployed on Skate would be live on all these different VMs, all these different chains with that one single state. So it'd be the same experience as Web2 apps like Instagram across all these different devices. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the high level analogy of Skate. I'll pass things on to Justin, who will do a little bit of a demo of our first stateless app, which is an app that has one state across all these different chains.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, Tim, for the great intro about Skate. Just gonna share my screen real quick. All right. Yeah, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see
Cool.
it there. I also see it's pulling up on X right now as well.
All right, sweet. Yeah, so I think yeah, right now we also have we're basically running a campaign and like a kind of like a stateless pilot. It's called the Skate Park, and basically this app is meant to kind of showcase the stateless revolution that we're trying to bring. And yeah, so if you guys head on to park.skatechain.org, basically what we have here is a workshop for you to kind of mint wheels, decks, and trucks, and you can kind of build your skateboards and put them together. So we are live on a couple of test nets right now. So we've got to do Mantle, right, for sure. So yeah, so what's going to happen right now is you can basically just mint, you sign like an intent and you request to mint a part. And what's going to happen is that we're going to mint a part on Skate Chain, and it's going to be verified by our node operator, the AVS. which will then proceed to mint the part over to you on Mantle. So if we kind of just take a look at the transactions on Skate Chain, you see that we basically minted a token of 306 3257, and we also have it here on the Mantle testnet 306 3257. So this is basically what we're trying to do. We're trying to unify all the different chains and kind of unify the state across all these different chains on Skate itself. So exactly like what Tim was mentioning about the Instagram example. So this is what we're trying to do on the Web3 space. So if you basically go to your inventory, you can also see all the parts that you've minted. And part of the cross VM idea that we have is that right now you can also kind of bind your wallets across the Telegram VM as well as the Solana VM. So I've already done that, and we have a Telegram account binded to this EVM address. Same for my Solana address. And yeah, we've got a whole bunch of parts here. We've got a deck on Telegram. We've got trucks on Solana. And yeah, we've got wheels from all over the place. So yeah, give it a build. And yeah, basically, you've kind of missed out on the Mantle reward station, or you're still thinking about putting TVL into our SkateFi derivatives vault. We are currently giving out like 500 ollies per skateboard built. So get minting, get building, and yeah, experience the stateless revolution yourself.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. I love to see you guys building these apps yourself and doing something actually interesting and fun here, kind of composing a skateboard. That's really cool. And just a quick question. So this is a stateless app that you guys have built. Are there any other stateless apps that are out there in live right now from other projects?
Yeah, so I think right now that we are working on another ambitious kind of like pilot project that will kind of take us to mainnet as well. We are building Polymarket on Ton. So basically, you can place your bets via a Telegram app on the open network and have your bets placed on Polygon itself. So I think that might be a pretty good use case in with the elections coming up and a whole lot of things to kind of bet on as usual, not financial advice. I think that's going to be a really great use case. But yeah, I think other than that, we have the skate workshop right now. So just these two at the moment.
Yeah. And just to add on, like, yeah, since like right now we're still in like testnet, we haven't really opened like a DevNet for projects to actually build on. We'll likely roll that out hopefully like end of this year. But we're like talking with like projects and figuring out how we can help them, deploy on Skate. And yeah, like Justin mentioned, the Polymarket thing is going to be huge. I think the beauty of this whole thing we're building at Skate is we can now bring any of like the top apps from any ecosystem to any chain. So that includes Mantle. Like we could work to bring, I don't know, for example, Drift or like Jupiter or something on Solana to Mantle. Like those kind of things are like actually possible with Skate.
So I'm this is like a new concept for me to wrap my head around, and to me this all fits into this broader mission to like kind of make crypto UX and building in crypto or Web3 more user friendly and more attuned to kind of like Web2 processes and user experiences. So how does that, I guess my question is, how does that work, right? Like if there's an application that's not been deployed on Mantle, you're saying that Skate can help bring that over basically immediately.
Yeah, I think like I guess like to the question of like how does that work, maybe like Justin's better to answer that. I think from like a user perspective though, it's like a very seamless user experience. So users like we, obviously right now, like interacting with Web3 apps, there's a lot of bridging involved. It's not really like the best user experience. I know like some people have been working on like extracting away the bridging, especially with, I guess, like swaps, right? Like on the DeFi side. But for us, the end user experience is users can kind of have their assets on any of their home chains. So if you're like a DeFi enjoyer, I know like Mantle's like one of the best chains, if not the best chain for like people that love yield. So having your assets on Mantle, obviously, you would be able to interact with even Polymarket on Polygon. And I guess to how that works, I think Justin can explain a little bit more about like the whole infra that we've built.
Yeah, totally. I think ultimately the main goal is to kind of take Web3 UX to the next level. And I guess from a technical perspective, we are trying to use Skate Chain as what we call the kernel chain, which is supposed to kind of like unify state across different chains. So there are two ways to kind of go about this. I think the first way is either you kind of adopt Skate's architecture and leverage on this cross-chain unified state paradigm, or you could do it similar to how we're doing it with Ton and Polymarket, where we kind of come in as an orchestration layer that basically resolves and executes transactions across, either on Telegram or on Polygon. And everything's going to be verified off-chain through our AVS. And that's kind of why we're partnering with EigenLayer, especially for fast finality and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's pretty composable. I think the main thing is that we're trying to bring apps across different virtual machines, get more access across, like, not just EVM, but also to Solana as well as the Telegram ecosystem.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, to me, this is really exciting. One of the things that I always struggle with when getting, friends and family into Web3 is they just can't get past the UX and trying to understand, why they can't get assets on this chain onto another chain, and why, even what those things are. So obviously Skate is working to improve that user experience. It feels like exponentially here. So this is super exciting for me. I saw a question in the chat as well. So, and as we start to wrap up here, maybe we could just talk about kind of what's next for Skate. What's in your guys' near term and maybe midterm roadmap?
Yeah, for sure. Justin already mentioned, like, I think the big thing for this month will be our Polymarket on Ton and Solana integrations. So right before, obviously, the presidential elections, the first week of November, I think there's going to be a lot of buzz around Polymarket, and we're enabling it now for a new network of users across Ton and later Solana. So that will be something really, really exciting to be looking forward to. We're also trying to enable it so users would also be able to bet with their ollies, which would actually be very, very interesting. Look out for that. I think in the medium term, there will be a lot more pilots and apps that will be deploying on Skate, and we can't say too much right now, but we're talking with like a lot of different projects, and we're really excited for the next quarter. So that's also our plan for the mainnet launch in this quarter. Yeah.
Cool. So that's the new when.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. And Justin, did you want to add anything? Sorry if I cut you off there.
No. I think, Tim basically said everything. I think just keep a lookout. We'll have great things coming up soon. Not just Telegram and Polymarket, but we'll bring way more apps to you guys soon. And great being part of the Mantle ecosystem so far. I think it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys for taking the time here to join us today. I'm going to take over the screen share just for the last slide of this event. So if you guys do want to connect with the skate team again, and also connect with the Mantle community. We've been doing a weekly poker tournament in the Mantle Discord. Super casual way to just connect with teams, connect with our community stewards, and connect with other people who are interested in probably the same questions you have, exploring Mantle ecosystem, but Web3 more broadly. So if your question didn't get answered here, you can ask it over there. That's tomorrow at 3 p.m. UTC. And also we'll have some prizes, including Ollies. I think it's 50K Ollies and 100 MNT. So if you didn't get your fix through the reward station or through the skate park app, you can join us there tomorrow. Anything else you guys want to add, Tim or Justin, or YZ, before we close out? Maybe if there was, I don't know if you guys saw any questions in the chat you wanted to address. I'm going to flick through really quickly and see if there's anything we can cover before we close out here.
Yeah, actually, just one quick one from my side. I saw something about the skate passport. So yeah, just something we forgot to mention. We basically also have a Telegram app coming up. It's basically live right now, but it's going to be a lot more applications and features coming in. But basically, we're prepping for the Telegram and Poly Market. So go check in, get some free ollies, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Amazing. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, YZ. And actually, one of our stewards just reminded me to say for poker tomorrow, we've got a monthly leaderboard. So if you're joining us for poker, you're going to qualify for this monthly leaderboard based on your rankings each week to earn extra rewards. So do join us. Come hang out in the chat. It's a good time. But yeah, I'll close it out from here. Thank you guys again. And we'll see you guys in the skate park, as they say, and also in the channels, Discord, Telegram for skate, and also for Mantle. Feel free to shoot me a DM if you have any questions about Mantle community. But other than that, everyone have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.